Seriously. Okay. Slipped in some mud, dropped to one knee. Can you tell? Update. I am now a lot more okay, so for the past month or so, I basically used up all my sick days for the year. It's March. We're in beginning of month 3, and also got suspended. Long story short, first time in a little while, I have some financial stability. It's 5 in the morning, 5 a.m., and I am going to see how much money I can fucking waste. I should say how quickly. Let's see how quickly I waste my money. Oh, and to say thank you to my over 200 subscribers now, and because I didn't really do anything for 100. Fuck. Lazy. I'm bringing back the vlogs. I don't know if it'll be every day. We'll try. We'll see. But fuck, this is probably the longest time gap since I started them. This is probably the longest time gap that there's been between, now and the last vlog. Shit. I was looking it up earlier. So hopefully I don't overwork myself again and have another nervous fucking breakdown. And hopefully the quality of my reactions, this doesn't affect the quality of them. They actually have gotten a lot better. I don't know if you've noticed, if I do say so myself. But no, I actually feel motivated to get back into the vlogs. It's because of you guys. Fucking, that's why we do it. See how I have it balanced? Science. And on this episode of Random Street Art, that is a lot of brown snow.
That is one big pile of shit.
Meant to get a lighter. I did not get a lighter.
Seriously? Seriously? Seriously?
Alright, time for a Happy Days unboxing. Lighter, Smoke Buddy carbon filter, and hemp wick. I actually prefer the raw brand, but Yeah, this stuff's pretty okay.
The opening of the Helm's Deep battle scene in the Two Towers reminds me a lot of the opening scene from Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in the West. Both movies have classic scores, but both use silence and some spare Foley sound effects to set the stage. It has to carry the dramatic weight, the ups and downs of a mini movie within a movie to hold our attention. In fact, since The Two Towers is essentially the middle of a larger story, Peter Jackson and his co-writers needed the Helm's Deep battle to be climactic enough to provide enough temporary closure that the film could stand on its own. In the end, it's that necessity which I think generated the best cinematic battle of the trilogy and one of the best movie battles of all time. You can break the Helm's Deep battle, or the Battle of the Hornburg, as it's known in the books, into 24 beats. These beats provide a rough layout. The late great cinematographer Andrew Lesney had the really difficult task of maintaining the feel of a night battle in the rain while making sure that the visuals were intelligible enough to the viewer. He does this by infusing the scene with a strong bluish backlight, ostensibly the moon, which draws out edges. And by keeping the color palette very limited, he ensures that shots aren't too busy for the eyes and brains of the audience. Intelligibility is really important for a giant set piece like this. Not only do you want the audience to be able to see what's happening, you want them to have a sense of how the fighting is developing for each side, which is why these 24 narrative beats are crucial. Each beat represents an action or development that carries an emotional cue, whether it's the feeling of anticipation at the start, or the feeling of vulnerability when the Uruk-hai explode the deep wall and march up the causeway, or the feeling of hope at sunrise and when Gandalf finally arrives. If you were to graph the progress of the battle using these 24 beats along an axis of how close the heroes were to victory or defeat, it would look something like this. What strikes me right away is that this shape resembles almost exactly a traditional story arc in miniature, complete with inciting incident, growing obstacles.
That's cool. Way to spot that. It is like a little movie.
Mini triumphs.
You flip it over, and it becomes a 3-act structure. He's gonna flip the image over.
As I said before, Helm's Deep is full of contrasts. Up close, hand-to-hand fighting, contrasts with sweeping crane shots, moments of levity.
That's not bad for a pointy-eared elvish princeling.
Contrasts with moments of tragedy. Darkness contrasts with light. Beauty with violence. Reckless hate with moral conviction. One of the contrasts...
Hello. Okay. Oh yeah, I was planning on stopping by, but probably not till this evening. Like 8 would be optimistic. Like the original plan was I wasn't gonna come by till probably later, but I can come by earlier. Like when were you thinking of leaving? Like a late supper would work better with me. Yeah, you guys can, that way you guys can eat early, and by the time I get there, you know. Alright. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll give you a call or whatever before I take off. Yeah, see you then.
That Lord of the Rings always has to balance is the one between the real and the mythic. The film has to be emotionally realistic enough to register on a personal level, but it also has to have that extra heightened element of fantasy, of myth, as if we're watching something more perfect than a true story can be. You see that in color palette, like I mentioned, but also in the rain and smoke and other atmospherics, the peppered use of slow motion, and of course there are shots like this.
Kill yourself.
It's these things that make the scene's narrative arc three-dimensional. Peter
Did I catch
Jackson,
that?
Andrew Lesnie, and the crews and actors who spent 4 months of night
I'm trying to make this a
filming
different
the
kind of
sequence
reaction. I
not only made
legitimately
it
just wanted to
easily
watch this
comprehensible
and
for
not
audiences,
give
but
a
also
performance.
resonant with the rest
so
of the
to speak.
film and the theme of darkness
Not that I'm
contrasted
always,
with
like,
light
performing.
that defines the trilogy. Helm's Deep is at once self-contained
I get pumped
and
up
a critical part
before
of
reaction.
something
This
bigger.
is just me.
In other words, it's not only
being
a
normal.
masterful sequence. Helm's Deep is the reason why epic battles
You get pumped up, really?
exist.
I'm rewinding it to 4:30.
Mentioned, but also in the rain and smoke and other atmospherics, the peppered use of slow motion, and of course there are shots like this. There is a new Nerd Writer video every Wednesday, so if you click that new end screen thing that I just...
Okay, be quiet. That's a very good point. You guys probably missed it again because of me, but he was saying that Helm's Deep is the reason epic battles exist. That was kind of my Nerd Writer impression. What do you think? I was talking to myself earlier, by the way. I wasn't referring to the person on the phone. Look how dark it got. Can you guys tell if the lighting got darker on camera? Usually it's more noticeable on camera, but I swear like 2 minutes passed since I watched Nerd Writer. Clouds. That's vlog worthy. Oh, that's cool. Sunshine. There's no food there. I wasn't eating. Why are you sitting there now? No matter how many times we've tried, we've never been able to get her to not perch on this damn thing. Only fallen once, really. She was fine, obviously. This is actually perfect kind of weather to film in. It's just the right amount of snow. Depends on the lighting. Hang on, we got nice white people funded lighting, and there's the First Nations lighting. I make that joke every time, by the way. Just want to get a quick Instagram shot of the food. Just same stuff we always get. Okay, I just wanted to... It's pretty dead at the casino tonight. Does look pretty cool though.
Yeah, yeah.
Snow. Oh yeah? Okay.